Let's see this question. The question says, what is baseband and broadband transmission? And what is the application of TDM switching? And what is multiplexing? So before looking into the definition, let's understand through diagram. If we talk about baseband, what happens? So suppose there is two nodes, node 1 and node 2. Suppose this is node 1 and this is node 2. So if we want to transmit a signal from node 1 to node 2, we will have a channel. And if we want to receive a signal from node 2 to node 1, it will use the same communication channel. That means this channel is a bidirectional. And most importantly, only one signal is transmitted at a time. Is transmitted at a time. That means either this node can receive a signal at a time or send a signal at a time. If we talk about broadband, there is two nodes. And if this node wants to transmit a signal to this node, there will be a communication channel. And if this node wants to receive a signal, then there will be another communication channel between them. That means these channels are unidirectional. And most important difference is in this, since in this we have seen baseband, only one signal is transmitted at a time. In this, multiple signals can be transmitted at the same time. So since multiple signals are being transmitted at the same time, that means we are using a multiplexing technique here. And multiplexing technique means there are multiple nodes who wants to send the data at through one single communication link. If this is the case, then there must be a mux at the starting point and demux at the ending point. Every signal will send a signal, every node will send a signal to this musk, and musk will combine all the signal into one, and it will send the signal to the receiver, and at receiver end there is a musk which will again bring back the received signal into its original form and will send to respective receiver. So this is method is called multiplexing. Since in this we are combining the signals. So when we say we are combining the signal, that means we are using either FDM or WDM. That means all the signal will have different frequencies or different wavelength. If this is the case, we can use FDM technique or WDM technique. And also there is a difference that it is being used in sending analog signals. And if we talk about baseband, this also uses a multiplexing technique, but the technique which is being used here is TDM, time division multiplexing. Since only one signal is being transmitted at a time, and in TDM also only one signal transmits at a time. Suppose this is the communication channel through which multiple nodes wants to send the data. Suppose there are node 1, node 2, node 3 who want to use the same medium to transmit a signal. If this is the case, every nodes will be allocated some specific time through which he can send the signal. Suppose it is be given at T1 slot is given to node 1, T2 slot is given to node 2, T3 slot is given to T4. Now again, node 1 will get T4 time slot, node 2 will get T5 time slot, node 3 will get T6 time slots, and it repeats like this again. That means it's a round robin technique. where every node gets a fair chance, nodes will get a fair chance to transmit a signal if we are using a TDM, time division multiplexing. That means at T1, this node will send a signal from this node to this node. And only one signal is being transmitted at a time. That means this node will use the communication channel during T1 time. This N2 will use this channel during T2 time, like this way. And when we talk about TDM, it uses by digital signals to transmit digital signals. So we have seen what is baseband, what is broadband, what is multiplexing, everything. Now let's see the definition. So for baseband, it is a data transmission technique, right? Which in which one signal needs the whole bandwidth of the channel to transfer the data. That means there is one channel, and this channel is being used by one signal at a time. And if we talk about broadband, it is a transmission technology in which many signals with different frequencies or wavelength sends data across a single channel at the same time. Just remember the keywords. Let me use the pen. So in this one signal uses the whole bandwidth. And in this, many signals with different frequencies or wavelength sends data across a single channel at the same time. If we see the signal type, it uses by digital signal, and in this it utilizes analog signal. The signal may be transmitted in both direction. That means it is bidirectional. The signal may transmit only in one direction. That means it is unidirectional. And if it is unidirectional, that means it utilizes two channels, one for transmission and the second for data reception. And in this, we can see it utilizes the same channel for sending and receiving data. That means it has only one channel. Direction type, it is bidirectional in nature, it is unidirectional in nature. It uses TDM and it uses FDM or WDM. It operates with bus topology and it operates with both bus and tree topology. We have seen these differences. So since there is only one channel, it is less expensive to design. And since there are two channels, so the wire required will be more. So it is costly to design. Encoding technique which are used in baseband, Manchester and differential Manchester encoding techniques are used. And in case of broadband, that means analog signals. In analog signals, we use PSK or QPSK encoding techniques. Now let's see a few applications of TDM switching. The TDM switching multiplexing multiple signals onto a single channel. One benefit, that means the efficiency of the channel is increased. Each signal is assigned a specific time slot within a frame. That means every node will get a chance to send a signal using the same communication channel. It is used in telephony, DSL, digital TV broadcasting, data networking, circuit switch networks, and it enables efficient transmission of multiple streams of data over a shared communication link. And we have already seen the definition of multiplexing through the diagram. So it is a way of sending multiple signals or streams of information over a communication link at the same time in the form of single or complex signal. That means if there is only one source who wants to send a signal, then it will be a single signal. If there are multiple source who wants to send a signal of different frequencies, then it mux combines all the signals into a one signal. It is called complex signal. And when signal reaches its destination, there is a musk at the receiver end, which uses a demultiplexing and which recovers the separate signals and outputs them to individual lines or individual receiver. So this question was asked in short answer question. So based on the mask, you can use or you can write few differences from this, like this is the important differences are like definition, signal type, single transmission. So I think 4 is fine. If this question is being asked in long answer question, then you can write more points in the differences.